Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Phil here. It's been a while since we did our music trivia, pop trivia. Got a busy street behind me. They're having an estate sale down the road. I hope you guys can hear me okay. But I've been doing these trivias and I've been playing too much copyrighted music. So today we'll just be asking the questions. But that's okay. And we'll be doing conversation. That's what I'd like to have is conversation. I'm going to pull this up so I can chat along with everybody. All right, so hello, everybody. What's up, Grandpa? How you doing? Yeah, we're gonna have a little trivia today. My tablet times out too quick. All right, so we're also having conversation. All right, Indian Brad, how are you doing? You guys ready for some trivia? You guys got your coffee or beverage to drink? Well, thank you for the like. All right, well, I'm going to start off with some trivia, but please put your answers in the chat or just put your conversation in the chat. We're just hanging out. I'm Uncle Phil. We're just friends. I'm just a lower level YouTuber. So apologize if things are disorganized. All right. Which Michael Jackson album included Beat It and Billie Jean? Which Michael Jackson album included Beat It and Billie Jean? And I'm coming from the USA, the state of Illinois. Go ahead and tell me where you guys are from. All right, so the question is, which Michael Jackson album included Beat It and Billie Jean? All right, well, we do have a correct answer here, which is Thriller. That is correct. Well, hello from Scotland. All right. Question number 2. What Madonna song begins with the line, "Life is a mystery"? What Madonna song begins with the line, "Life is a mystery"? I would say the temperature now is probably in the mid 70s right now, but it should get hotter. There might be some rain. Taking a chance it might rain on me today. Tomorrow, it's going to be a hot, sunny day. I think it's going to be about 90 degrees. I'm just guessing the temperature. Let me look on the phone, see what it says. It says 76. So I was pretty close guess. Monsoon in India, you feel like you're in a furnace. All right. So, what Madonna song begins with the line, "Life is a mystery"? And I don't know if anybody answered that, but I'm going to go ahead and give the answer. And that is "Like a Prayer." Like a Prayer. We got a lot of different, well, we got a handful of categories, and there should be something for everybody. We have country, pop, rock, rap, and we got some music trivia. So, continuing on. I just did that one. I'm sorry. Which Bon Jovi anthem includes the lyric, "Whoa, we're halfway there"? Which Bon Jovi anthem includes the lyric, "Whoa, we're halfway there"? And in our game today, in our conversation, we're looking for answers. But if you have anything to say about the question, any memory that it may bring, any nostalgic thoughts, or you can just say anything, because we're just friends hanging out outside, drinking a little coffee. Got a little soda there also. Summers used to be memorable in India, but thanks to climate change. Huh. All right, so let's see. Our question was, which Bon Jovi anthem includes the lyric, "Whoa, we're halfway there"? Does anybody know the band Bon Jovi? Any memories? I have a memory of Bon Jovi. It was, I seen Bon Jovi. That was my first concert, probably back in 84, maybe. Maybe something like that. They opened up for Rat, and it's been a long time since Bon Jovi was an opening band. So that was their last time as an opening band. And then they hit huge with their Slippery When Wet album, I believe. All right. Living on a Prayer is correct. Way to go, James. James, where are you out of today? If you don't mind me asking. All right. So that was a great answer, James. All right. The next question. And like I said, we're looking for answers, memories, nostalgic thoughts, anything you got. We're just hanging out. All right. Hello from Texas. My brother lives in Arlington. My dad was from McAllen. All right. So which Prince song shares its title with a color and a weather event? Which Prince song shares its title with a color and a weather event? I'm going to have to email this to myself, these questions, so I can also put them on the chat. Let's see. Then it'd be easier for people who are just coming. Purple Rain, James is on fire. All right. How's the weather there in Texas, James, today? A little cloudy here, but we expect real sunny weather, I think, for the next couple weeks. James, are you a Cowboy fan, Dallas Cowboy fan? We've always been diehard Cowboy fans. Is that right? Yeah, we've always been hardcore Dallas Cowboy fans. And like I said, my dad was born and raised till he went to the service in Texas. Yeah, it's probably hot in Houston. Oh, so you're not a Cowboy fan? Are you a, what is it? The Texans? You a Texans fan? All right. Let's see what the next question is. All right. What 1981 Journey song became a huge sing-along hit decades later? Well, I guess this is the correct answer, but it could probably be a couple. What 1981 Journey song became a huge sing-along hit decades later? All right, I'm going to see if I can pull this up or I can write the questions out. And you just give me a second. All right, here we go. Oh, I had a little problem. I'll work on that. All right, so which 1981 Journey song became a huge sing-along hit? And the answer is Don't Stop Believing. Don't Stop Believing. All right. I'm going to try to pull this up. All right. Which Run DMC and Aerosmith collaboration helped bring rap rock to MTV? Let's see. I'll read that one more time. Which Run DMC and Aerosmith collaboration helped bring rap rock to MTV? Hello, everybody. We're doing trivia today. We're just hanging outside, just having an excuse to hang out, have conversation. We're asking some music trivia and movie trivia questions from the 80s till present. And it's just an excuse to hang out, have fun, drink coffee together. In case you're not in the mood to drink coffee by yourself, I'm here. I'm here for you. And also here to have any conversation, anything you want to talk about. But which Run DMC and Aerosmith collaboration helped bring rap rock to MTV? Anybody know which Run DMC and Aerosmith collaboration helped bring rap rock to MTV? And the answer is Walk This Way. All right, I'm going to see if I can get this where I can put the questions in the chat. All right. All right, I'm having problems getting that where I could write the questions out, but who sang the 1980s country hit 9 to 5? Who sang the 1980 country hit 9 to 5? Oop, I put who? Dang, who sang? Wow, I got big fingers. I better not try to write the questions. I'll just ask them. Who sang the 1980s country hit 9 to 5? Who sang the 1980s country hit 9 to 5? Anybody know that? And the answer is Dolly Parton. Any Dolly Parton fans out there? Dolly Parton in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I guess there was a little controversy about that. At the time, Iron Maiden wasn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and many believe that Iron Maiden should have came before Dolly when it comes to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but others see it in a different way. Like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just big, iconic stars. All right. Which band released the 1987 album Appetite for Destruction? Let's see. I want to get these questions on here. Give me a second. All right. So does anybody know which band came out with the album Appetite for Destruction? All right, so I'm getting the questions on there. Which band released the 1987 album Appetite for Destruction? Well, they're getting serious there at that estate sale. All right. And the answer is to the question, which band released the 1987 album Appetite for Destruction? Last Chance. That's Guns N' Roses. All right. What Whitney Houston song asks, how will I know if he really loves me? What Whitney Houston song asks, how will I know if he really loves me? All right, so I'm going to put that question in the chat so we can follow along together. What Whitney Houston song asks, how will I know if he really loves me? Any memories on Whitney Houston? She was a transcendent star. I mean, you could be a fan of heavy metal, country, pop, dance, whatever, R&B. It doesn't matter. You could appreciate Whitney Houston's singing. What Whitney Houston song asks, how will I know if he really loves me? Let's find out what that answer is. And the answer is, how will I know? All right. The next question is, which Kenny Loggins song from the 1984 movie Footloose became a dance floor favorite? Which Kenny Loggins song from the 1984 movie Footloose became a dance floor favorite? Let's see, 1984, I was just becoming a teen, and so I have some nostalgic memories of Footloose. Anybody else have nostalgic memories of Footloose from 1984, or any nostalgic memories from the year of 1984? This is Moments in Time with Uncle Phil trivia, which is just an excuse to hang out and have conversation. So don't be shy. Anything you want to say about memories, you're welcome to just throw it out there. We're just hanging out. But we are asking some questions, and if you know the answer, go ahead and put them in the chat. Which Kenny Loggins song from the 1984 movie Footloose became a dance floor favorite? And the answer is the title track, Footloose. All right. What Def Leppard album featured Pour Some Sugar on Me? What Def Leppard album featured the song Pour Some Sugar on Me? Now, that's I don't think that's something that you'd literally want to happen, is someone to pour sugar on you. Can anybody tell me what exactly does pour some sugar on me mean? What Def Leppard album featured the song Pour Some Sugar on Me? Any Def Leppard fans out there? What era of Def Leppard did you like the most? The early years, On Through the Night, is that what it was? And Pyromania, and they had another album before Pyromania also. And then they had the mid 80s or whenever it was, late 80s. But what Def Leppard album featured Pour Some Sugar on Me? And the answer is Hysteria. I guess you go from Pyromania to Hysteria. All right. All right, we got a country question. All right. So, which George Strait song says, "All my exes live in Texas"? We just had James from Texas that was just with us a minute ago. Like to welcome everybody. Today we're doing trivia with Uncle Phil. Basically, it's low pressure, low key, just hanging out, having some coffee. But we're having fun. You're welcome to answer the questions, and we're also looking for any memories you have from the era of the question, or any memories of the answer of the question. Whatever you got, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Which George Strait song says, "All my exes live in Texas"? Does anybody remember that one? And this is kind of the type of question that I don't like so much, where the answer is in the question. And the answer is, all my exes live in Texas. All right, so we got some more questions. And this one is a little bit of a grunge question. A little bit. Which Nirvana song begins with the famous guitar riff and the words "Up on Guns"? Let's see. Which Nirvana song begins with the famous guitar riff and the words "Load up on guns"? Huh. I didn't know that was the lyrics. Is that correct? Which Nirvana song begins with the famous guitar riff and the words "Load up on guns"? Anybody got any Nirvana memories, or any Nirvana songs that are your favorite? Anything about Nirvana or the era of grunge when it started coming in? I was into metal, heavy metal, thrash metal, glam metal, different things. And the grunge era, it took a bite out of all the genres I just mentioned. All right, so which Nirvana song begins with the famous guitar riff and the words "Load up on guns"? Smells Like Teen Spirit. All right, now we got a pop question. What 1997 Elton John song was reworked as a tribute to Princess Diana? What 1997 Elton John song was reworked as a tribute to Princess Diana? While you guys think about that, maybe we can ponder. Anybody remember when Princess Diana passed away? Remember the event? What you were doing, or did it shock you? Any memories of Elton John? Any conversation? Anything you want to say? Tell me where you're from. I'm coming from the state of Illinois in USA. Hope everybody's doing good today. What 1997 song, what 1997 Elton John song was reworked as a tribute to Princess Diana? I remember this one, and it was a good song. And the answer is Candle in the Wind, 1997, Candle in the Wind. All right. So this is maybe a rap, rhythm, and blues type question. Maybe popular music. It's hard to put it in a little box. But the question is, which TLC hit warns listeners not to go chasing something? Which TLC hit warns listeners not to go chasing something? What were they warned not to chase? Anybody remember the meaning of the song? All right. Which TLC hit warns listeners not to go chasing something? Well, let's see what they shouldn't chase. They shouldn't chase waterfalls. So, which TLC hit warns listeners not to go chasing something? And they shouldn't be chasing waterfalls. And there was definitely a meaning behind that song. All right, so here we go. This is definitely some older rap right here. The question: who performed "Baby Got Back"? Who performed "Baby Got Back"? Does anybody remember who performed the song "Baby Got Back"? Welcome, everybody, to Moments in Time with Uncle Phil. We're having trivia today, and it's basically just an excuse to hang out, drink some coffee together. We're just sharing nostalgic memories. We're asking some trivia questions, but anything you want to put in the chat, we can talk about, hopefully related to the question, maybe bring back a nostalgic memory. So who performed "Baby Got Back"? Anybody remember that? Just put your answer in the chat if you remember. And the answer to this one is Sir Mix-a-Lot. Sir Mix-a-Lot. I believe he was out of Seattle. All right. Which Garth Brooks song includes the line, "I've got friends in low places"? And let me talk about Garth Brooks for a second. I don't know exactly what happened, but I think recently he had said something that was a little name the band of Rick James and Neil Young played in a modern band. Name a Motown band. Name the band. Rick James and Neil Young. Whew. What was that, in the late 60s, early 70s, maybe? I don't know that one. Oh, so what I was going to say about Garth Brooks, I think he said something maybe politically controversial. I don't remember, and I'm not really getting into any type of political controversies. But I was at a discount store yesterday, a store called 80's, and they had like a 7-disc CD of Garth Brooks. And believe it or not, it was on sale for $2.99 for a 7 CD big old set of Garth Brooks. $2.99. So he went from the biggest entertainer and one of the top biggest entertainers in the world to a little bit less than that, I guess you could say. So, John, are you going to tell us the answer? Because I'm curious. Neil Young played in a Motown band named the band. Rick James and Neil Young. Can you tell us that? We'll do like 2 questions at a time since we got a second question. So, John, go ahead and put that in the comment, the answer, please. All right, so which Garth Brooks song includes the line, "I've got friends in low places"? And once again, this is one of the examples of the type of questions that I'm not too fond with, is where the answer is in the question. And the answer is friends in low places. All right. Which Spice Girls song begins with, "Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want"? Does anybody remember that? Any Spice Girl fans out here? Which Spice Girls song begins, "Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want"? Anybody remember that? That tune. Is that considered a classic? Maybe not. All right, I tell you what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to, since John didn't tell us the answer to the question of Rick James and Neil Young played in a Motown band, name the band, I'm going to see if I can find that answer. The Mina Birds was a Canadian rhythm and blues band formed in Toronto, Ontario, that was active from 64 to 67. Although the band never released an album, it is notable as featuring a number of musicians such as Rick James and Neil Young. All right, there you go. Apologize for that. I got a little bit of an upper respiratory infection, I believe. Which Spice Girls song begins, "Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want"? Anybody know that answer? Any Spice Girl fans? Anybody remember what the culture was back when this song came out? All right, so let's see what the name of that song was. That song was called "Wannabe." All right, now we're going back to rap. And the question is, what rapper released the album The Chronic in 1992? Anybody have any memories of 1992 and the time that the rapper released the album The Chronic in 1992? Wow, I was in my early 20s. Yeah, I remember that album being huge, huge. I was, when it came to rap music, I had started off and was into the NWA, Too Short, Eazy-E, that West Coast gangster rap stuff, but this continued on, I guess you could say, of that. What rapper released the album The Chronic in 1992? Hello, those who just entered the live stream. Today we're having some lighthearted trivia, some coffee. We're just hanging out, have an excuse to just talk with each other, chat with each other. So, what rapper released the album The Chronic in 1992? Does anybody remember that? That person is the artist Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre released the album The Chronic in 1992. All right, next question. Which Alanis Morissette album included You Ought to Know? Which Alanis Morissette album included You Ought to Know? I've talked about Alanis Morissette in the past. She was kind of a product, I believe. I mean, I'm not saying everything I say is facts or I'm talking bad about somebody, but she was kind of a product of her record label. The grunge and alternative music was really big at the time of this album. But Alanis Morissette, she was more pop artist out of Canada, and then she turned into a little bit more edgy style of music. But I loved her song "You Ought to Know." That was a good one, a song that the guys liked, the girls liked, all around good song. Which Alanis Morissette album included You Ought to Know and Ironic? And does anybody have any memories from that time? All right, let's see what the name of the album is. And the name of the album is Jagged Little Pill. Jagged Little Pill. All right, now here we go. We got a good one here. Who sang Man, I Feel Like a Woman? And I've been seeing this artist on YouTube shorts and my feed and different things. And some say that this artist, is having some tough times performance-wise, but I don't have an opinion on that necessarily. Who sang Man, I Feel Like a Woman? But I can tell you, when she come out with this, Who sang Man, I Feel Like a Woman, she was a huge star, and I liked her a lot. And I thought her style of country was kind of pop or whatever, but she was definitely a looker, a pretty lady. And I liked her a lot. And I thought she wasn't, I thought she was kind of conservative for a sex symbol. Anyway, she had some good songs. Who sang Man, I Feel Like a Woman? Does anybody remember that? Who sang Man, I Feel Like a Woman? That is Shania Twain. All right, the next question is, which Backstreet Boys song asks, Tell Me Why? Which Backstreet Boys song asked, "Tell me why"? Any Backstreet Boys fans out here? Anybody remember that era? There was a lot of boy bands going on at the time. I wasn't really into the boy bands, but that's okay if you were. Which Backstreet Boys song asked, "Tell me why"? And the answer is, "I Want It That Way." All right. Another alternative rock question. What Pearl Jam album featured Alive, Even Flow, and Jeremy? All right. So Pearl Jam, one of the bands that they had a big footprint in music when the grunge era started. What Pearl Jam album featured Alive, Even Flow, and Jeremy? Anybody know that one? What Pearl Jam album featured Alive, Even Flow, and Jeremy? And that was the album 10. That was a huge album. They had that unique sound. I think it's real interesting when a new genre or something fresh in music comes out, because sometimes it hurts existing, the existing status quo of music at the time, but that's okay. Sometimes it's time for something new, and it'll be somebody else's time. All right. Which country group had a hit with Wide Open Spaces? Which country group had a hit with Wide Open Spaces? And I remember this band during this era, I would say, I don't know, around 2000, I don't know exactly. But which country group had a hit with Wide Open Spaces? They were great musicians, and they had some great songs, and they were fun and everything else. Since then, they've had some controversy with some things that they have said. But anyway, at the time, I thought they were a great new country, or I don't know if they were new, but I think they were relatively new, but they were putting out some country hits. And they had some talented musicians. Which country group had a hit with Wide Open Spaces? Anybody? Somebody knows. While you think about that, I'm going to start thinking about the next question. All right, so which country group had a hit with Wide Open Spaces? That would be the Dixie Chicks, or you can call them the Chicks. All right, moving on to the next one. Who sang the 2003 hit Crazy in Love? Does anybody remember who sang the 2003 hit Crazy in Love? All right. So I'd like to say hello to everybody. I'm Uncle Phil. Just wanted to welcome you. We're just having some lighthearted trivia. We're drinking some coffee, and we're trying to share some nostalgic memories. I dare you to share some nostalgic memories with us in the comments. So right now the question is, who sang the 2003 hit "Crazy in Love"? And that would be Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. ABBA? No. They may have had a song that had a similar name. All right, so the next question is, which Outkast song repeats "Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture"? Which Outkast song repeats "Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture"? All right, and the question is, all right, well, that's great. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. We got a lot of different, we've been touching a lot of different styles of music, and we got a lot more to go. So the answer to the which Outkast song repeats "Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture" is "Hey Ya." All right, so now the next question is, which Green Day album includes "Boulevard of Broken Dreams"? Which Green Day album includes "Boulevard of Broken Dreams"? And let me ask you, man, if I can call you man, you're loving the trivia, but are you drinking coffee with me? Are you sitting down relaxing? Are we hanging out together? That's what I'm hoping we're trying to do. And one more question. Where are you from? Where are you out of? Anyway, glad to have you. Which Green Day album includes "Boulevard of Dreams"? And the name of that song is, or the name of that album is "American Idiot." Kind of a strong name. All right. The next question is, what Kelly Clarkson song begins, "Here's the thing, we started out friends"? Oh, wow, that sounds interesting. All right, from Singapore. Great. Well, that is exciting that you're from Singapore. That means this conversation's going far. What Kelly Clarkson song begins, "Here's the thing, we started out friends"? And let me ask you, man, what's your favorite artist, your music artist? Go ahead and share that with me, please. What's your favorite artist? Or what's your most recent favorite song? Just anything like that. Go ahead and put that in the comments, and I'll maybe I'll know them or maybe I won't, but I'll do a little research and look into them. All right. So in the comments, anybody that's here, go ahead and write down your favorite artist. But Marilyn Manson, you know what? I've actually seen Marilyn Manson in concert in Tacoma, Washington. I would say probably 1999 or the year 2000 maybe. And they were with Korn, the band Korn. So, yeah, actually, Ozzy, on my YouTube channel, I go to concerts and I record them, and I don't have a niche because I'm all over there, but I'm just trying to record the moments of my life. That's why I call it moments in time. But I also like to document other people's time together in different ways. But anyway, I go to concerts. I've seen Meshuggah. I've recorded Meshuggah. I don't have them on the channel, but I've seen variety of stuff from a Christian band, Third Day, to Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Sepultura. I see local shows. I just like to put in a lot of different things. All right, what Kelly Clarkson song begins? Here's the thing: we started out friends, and that is "Since You've Been Gone." That was a big hit. Was that her big hit after winning American Idol? I'm not sure. All right. Which rapper released Lose Yourself from the movie 8 Mile? Which rapper released Lose Yourself from the movie 8 Mile? All right, which rapper released Lose Yourself from the movie 8 Mile? Just one of the biggest rappers of all time. All right. And the answer to that question is Eminem. That's a unique name. You got to be original when you come up with names, and I'd have to say that was a unique one. All right. Who sang Before He Cheats? Who sang Before He Cheats? And I'll give you a little bit of a hint. This artist was an American Idol winner. And I'll even go further with the, well, it was a female artist, which the title kind of hints at. But she was my favorite, I guess you could say, from American Idol. She has had something to do with Sunday Night Football. Or was it Monday Night Football? I can't remember. Whoa, who were the Beatles before they were the Beatles? I'm not sure. That's another great question. Now, John, you asked that question earlier about Rick James and, let's see, who was it? Who was it? Rick James and who? Neil Young, if that's correct. And I looked it up, and I can't remember the name now. It's kind of a unique one. Canadian act from 64 to 67. I believe they were together. They never did put out an album, but they were known for that they had those two big artists in them. Who were the Beatles before they were the Beatles? All right, so the question is, who sang Before He Cheats? That's my question. And John asked, who were the Beatles before they were the Beatles? And I don't know that answer. All right. All right, so moving on. Who sang Before He Cheats? That would be Kelly, or excuse me, that would be Carrie Underwood. All right. Which Lady Gaga hit includes the phrase, can't read my poker face? And once again, that's the type of question that I'm not fond of because the answer is basically in the question, and the answer is poker face. All right, which Coldplay song has the title that means life in Spanish? What Coldplay song has the title that means life in Spanish? All right, so let's see. Too late for coffee. Man says it's too late for coffee. What time is it in Singapore, man? Man, I'm a millwright at a steel mill, and we drink coffee all day, day and night. We get in the break room and we start drinking coffee. Oh man, it's starting to rain. And I'm outdoors and it's starting to rain. I took a chance. What Coldplay song has a title that means life in Spanish? Viva la vida. All right. Let's see. Which Usher song featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris became a huge 2004 club hit? Which Usher song featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris became a huge 2004 club hit? All right, so someone had asked, John had asked earlier in the chat, who were the Beatles before they were the Beatles? And I believe that answer is the Quarrymen, if I'm pronouncing that right. That's when I think John Lennon was just a youngin', but that was before the Beatles. Great question, John. All right, which Usher song featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris became a huge 2004 club hit? Which Usher song featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris became a huge 2004 club hit? And the answer is yeah. All right. This is for the Swifties, I guess you could say. Which Taylor Swift song from the Fearless era tells a Romeo and Juliet style story? Huh. I do know some Swifties. I'm not a Swiftie, but I do know some Swifties. And I bet you it'd be interesting to go to a Swiftie concert. Which Taylor Swift song from her Fearless era tells a Romeo and Juliet story? All right, so the answer to that question is Love Story. Now the question is, what Linkin Park song repeats, in the end, it doesn't even matter? What Linkin Park song repeats, in the end, it doesn't even matter? And Linkin Park, they were a huge group. And I was at a doctor's office, and at the time when they were just getting ready to, just have broken into the mainstream, and we're getting real big. And I was reading, back then they had message boards or chat rooms or something. And they were going on these chat rooms. They were going on Limp Bizkit chat rooms, message boards, or whatever you want to call them. And the members of the band would say, have you heard of this band, Linkin Park? Oh, they're great. This is going to be the next big thing. And they themselves were a great band, but they also created a stir by going on these chat rooms and talking about how great this band Linkin Park was, this up-and-comer, but they weren't telling people that they were members of the band. They were creating some momentum, or however you want to put it. What Linkin Park song repeats, in the end, it doesn't even matter? And the answer to that is, in the end. Who had a country pop hit with Need You Now? Who had a country pop hit with Need You Now? The Silver Beatles. Wow. There must have been something that they were intrigued with Beatles. Who had a country pop hit with Need You Now? Anybody know that one? I remember that song, Need You Now. It was kind of a, I don't know, a different style of country when it came out, but very popular. All right. Who had a country pop hit with Need You Now? And that was Lady A, or let's see, Lady Antebellum. Yes. I can hear that song in my head right now. All right. Which Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson song says, "Don't believe me, just watch"? Which Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson song says, "Don't believe me, just watch"? Ooh, that's a funky song. Which Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson song says, "Don't believe me, just watch"? Which Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson song says, "Don't believe me, just watch"? That would be Uptown Funk. That was a great song, very funky. I put it on my backyard barbecue playlist. Who released the hit album Lemonade in 2016? Who released the hit album Lemonade in 2016? Does anybody remember who released the hit album Lemonade in the year 2016? I guess you could say this artist has done multiple genres, even doing a country album. Who released the hit album Lemonade in 2016? Drum roll, please. And the answer is Beyonce. Which Lil Nas X song mixed country themes with rap and became a huge 2019 hit? Which Lil Nas X song mixed country themes with rap and became a huge 2019 hit? Oh, yeah. That's a good one. All right, welcome everybody. I'm Uncle Phil. We're having a lighthearted trivia today. I'm drinking coffee. I don't know what you're having, but anyway, we're just trying to have conversation, talk about nostalgic times, what these songs and musicians, what kind of memories they bring us. So anyway, just low key, just enjoying ourselves, hanging out, having conversation. Which Lil Nas X song mixed country themes with rap and became a huge 2019 hit? And the answer is Old Town Road. Is that correct? Let me see. Old Town Road. All right, back to our Swiftie questions. Which Taylor Swift album includes Anti-Hero? Which Taylor Swift album includes Anti-Hero? What is an anti-hero? Is that a villain? Huh. Which Taylor Swift album includes Anti-Hero? Hope everybody's doing good. You can drop in the chat where you're from. I'm from Illinois. All right, which Taylor Swift album includes Anti-Hero? And the answer is Midnights. Midnights. All right. Who sang Bad Guy? Who sang Bad Guy? Who sang the song Bad Guy? All right. Does anybody know who sang the song Bad Guy? All right. It was starting to drizzle rain, but it looks like it passed over. So that's great. That would be Billie Eilish. Is that how you pronounce that? Who sang Bad Guy? Billie Eilish. All right. Which Weeknd song became known for its synth pop sound and red suit music video era? Which Weeknd song became known for its synth pop sound and red suit music video era? All right. Which Weeknd song became known for its synth pop sound and red suit music video era? And the answer is Blinding Lights. The Weeknd. Any Weeknd fans? All right. Let's see. The next question is, what Olivia Rodrigo song uses a driver's license as its central image? What Olivia Rodrigo song uses a driver's license as its central image? And that is an example of the type of question that I don't like, is when the answer is in the question. Which Morgan Wallen, excuse me. So the answer is driver license. Is it driver or drivers? Driver's license. Which Morgan Wallen song says, "Last night we let the liquor talk"? Which Morgan Wallen song says, "Last night we let the liquor talk"? All right. Maybe it's time to put the coffee up. Have a little bit of some cooler beverage. Oh, yeah. That's good. Which Morgan Wallen song says, "Last night we let the liquor talk"? And the answer to that question is "Last Night." All right. Which, I don't know how to say this necessarily. Which SZA or SZA song from the album SOS became a #1 hit and shares its title with the Quentin Tarantino movie character? All right, that says a lot. You guys can read it. Which SZA song from the album SOS became a #1 hit and shares its title with the Quentin Tarantino movie character? Oh. And the answer is Kill Bill. Which Post Malone and Morgan Wallen song top charts in 2024? Which Post Malone and Morgan Wallen song top charts in 2024? Huh. And the answer is I Had Some Help. Which Shabuzi song has the line, "Everybody at the bar getting tipsy"? Which Shabuzi song has the line, "Everybody at the bar getting tipsy"? All right. And the answer to that last question is a bar song, Tipsy. All right. This will probably be the last 12 questions. Then I'm going to have to run for now. And I had a great time hanging out with you guys. Eye of the Tiger is strongly associated with which Rocky movie? Eye of the Tiger is strongly associated with which Rocky movie? Any Rocky fans out there? I'm a Rocky fan. I think there's a lot of wisdom that Rocky teaches throughout his movies, the Rocky movies. Eye of the Tiger is strongly associated with which Rocky movie? And by the way, what's your favorite Rocky movie? So, Eye of the Tiger is strongly associated with which Rocky movie? And a side question is, what is your favorite Rocky movie? Eye of the Tiger is associated with Rocky 3. All right. Staying in the 80s. Ghostbusters was performed by which artist? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was performed by which artist? Ghostbusters was performed by which artist? Anybody remember Ray Parker Jr.? I remember Ray Parker Jr. Now here's a side trivia, and I don't know this answer, but was Ray Parker Jr. in a band? And if so, what band? I mean, I don't see how I would know Ray Parker Jr. I'm just curious. Was he ever in a band or collaborate with somebody? All right. Ghostbusters was performed by Ray Parker Jr. Take My Breath Away by Berlin was featured in which 1986 movie? So we're doing soundtrack songs right now. Take My Breath Away by Berlin was featured in which 1986 movie? And this was a huge movie, and they've had a sequel to it, I guess you could say, in the last few years. Take My Breath Away by Berlin was featured in which 1986 movie? All right. Take My Breath Away by Berlin was featured in the 1986 movie Top Gun. That was a huge hit with Tom Cruise in there. The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News was featured in which time travel movie? All right, so our category is movie soundtracks right now. The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News was featured in which time travel movie? All right. Does anybody remember the time travel movie that had the hit song The Power of Love in it? That was Back to the Future. That was very 80s. Don't You Forget About Me is tied to which 1985 teen movie? Don't You Forget About Me is tied to which 1985 teen movie? All right. Does anybody remember these old movies and the soundtracks to them? Don't You Forget About Me is tied to the 1985 teen movie The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club. All right. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston was featured in which movie? I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston was featured in which movie? What a soundtrack that movie had. That was a great soundtrack. Does anybody remember the song I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston and what movie it was featured in? Anybody got memories of Whitney Houston? What a great artist. One of the all-time great voices. Beautiful, pretty lady. Had some lifestyle struggles, I guess, in her life, and ultimately passed away too soon. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston was featured in which movie? And that is The Bodyguard. All right, now here's another blockbuster. My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion came from which blockbuster film? My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion came from which blockbuster film? Some say it was one of the best movies ever when it came out. Many don't like that people said that. My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion came from which blockbuster film? By the way, I'm Uncle Phil. We're just hanging out. Was having coffee, now I'm just drinking some soda, but we're just having a moment in time together, just hanging out. I'm asking some lighthearted trivia questions, seeing if I could stir some nostalgia. Maybe you guys can share some memories. Name the first video played on MTV. Well, that was the Bugles' Video Killed the Radio Star. And it was also the last video played on MTV before it just ended its time. My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion came from which blockbuster film? And that is the Titanic. All right. Let's see. Kiss from a Rose by Seal became closely associated with which Batman movie? Kiss from a Rose by Seal became closely associated with which Batman movie? All right. I appreciate you guys being here with me today. Means a lot to me. I don't take it for granted. My numbers are low, but with your help and just us becoming associates, I think our numbers can grow. Kiss from a Rose by Seal became closely associated with which Batman movie? And that was Batman Forever. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith was featured in which 1998 movie? I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith was featured in which 1998 movie? You know, all these questions of these songs, movies, and artists, well, I won't say all of them, but 99% of them, they stir a memory. And I know we're moving through these fairly quick, but I hope that they stir some memories in you, and that in some of our future live streams, we'll spend more time on the memories. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith was featured in which 1998 movie? And that was, let's see, what was that? I want to get this wrong. Armageddon. That was a big movie. Kind of had some advanced, what do you call them? Movie technology. Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio was featured in which movie starring Michelle Pfeiffer? Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio was featured in which movie starring Michelle Pfeiffer? That was a great song. It was played all kinds of time on the video stations. All right, Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio was featured in which movie starring Michelle Pfeiffer? And that was Dangerous Minds. Does anybody remember the movie Dangerous Minds? All right, Unchained Melody had a huge revival because of which 1990 movie? Unchained Melody had a huge revival because of which 1990 movie? Now, with all these great songs and artists, it makes me interested in doing the artist and song reaction review or reaction videos. I've never done that. I would really love to start it. Hopefully I can figure that out, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. Unchained Melody had a huge revival because of which 1990 movie? Oh yeah, that was a great movie. All right, so Unchained Melody had a huge revival because of which 1990 movie? That's the movie Ghost. Does anybody remember that? Let's see, who did that have? It had what was his name? Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Men in Black was a soundtrack hit for which actor and rapper? Men in Black was a soundtrack for which actor and rapper? And I'll be having to say goodbye after this question. I want to thank everybody who stopped by. Uncle Phil loves you, and I appreciate you. I hope we can do it again. All right, so Men in Black was a soundtrack hit for which actor and rapper? Does anybody remember the movie Men in Black? That takes me back. It was kind of a unique film when it came out. It was great. Still a good movie. They have a few of those Men in Blacks, and they were really good. Men in Black was a soundtrack hit for which actor and rapper? And that would be Will Smith. All right, everybody. I just want to thank you one last time. Say thanks. Appreciate you. I love you. I hope we can have another moment in time together. It's always low key, no pressure. It's about conversation and memories. So hopefully we can see each other again in the future. So for now, Uncle Phil loves you, and Uncle Phil out.